has a tongue that's twice as long as his body that shoots out in less than a blink of an eye. We'll talk about that and more fun Jackson Chameleon facts today while I sketch this little dude. So let's just turn the page and get started. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 5:30 in the morning. It's actually 5:34, running just a little bit late. Somebody, I'm not naming any names, but somebody failed to set the coffee up last night, and so I had to wait for my coffee to quit perking this morning. And I know that that's no legitimate excuse to stop the show, but the name of the show is Sketching and Coffee, and it just seems sacrilegious to have a Sketching and Coffee show without coffee. It just seems sacrilegious to me. So, I can't let that slide. Anyway, it is Saturday morning. On Saturday mornings, I like to do a little thing where I grab a toy out of the toy box and I draw it, a random object out of the Random Object Randomogrifier, if you will, and I draw it and we talk about it. I actually do this every day at 5:30 in the morning Texas time, so you may want to set that notification bell so you don't miss any of them. And today's random object from the Random Object Randomogrifier is a Jackson's Chameleon. Jackson's Chameleon was named for Frederick Jackson. Frederick Jackson was the first governor of Kenya, where these things are actually from. And the Collier, when he's taxonomizing it, named it the Triceros jacksoni. Triceros, obviously referring to the Triceratopsian three horns that they have on the top of their head. Because that's literally what Triceros means, three horns. But the Jacksoni, Frederick Jackson, was a very popular explorer and ornithologist studying Africa, and they gave him kudos. They named this by naming this chameleon after him. Now, I don't think he discovered this chameleon. I think Collier just decided to name it after him. But he could have easily discovered it. That did not come up in my research, believe it or not. Who actually sent the specimen in? Just that they named it after him.
Are you frozen?
Maybe. I might be. You didn't really want to watch me draw, did you? Okay. That should have undone it. Oh no, we got it fixed. I see we have Tice and Rick and Pamela and Cassandra. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I love when we have a full house like this. It really helps. It really helps keep it on track, keeps the chat going, keeps the questions running. These guys are about 10 inches long. Their tongues are about 20 inches long. And they snatch them out. They'll hang upside down from a branch and they'll snatch that tongue out and grab a bug out of the air before you can even blink. I'm surprised it doesn't make a noise. I'm surprised it doesn't. I'm honestly surprised that more things like that don't make noises. You know, like the mantis shrimp with these little punches that actually cause a burst of light. They're that fast and violent, and they explode the water around them. I'm surprised there's not more animals like that. Like this little guy shooting his 20-inch tongue out. I'm surprised it doesn't break the sound barrier or something. How awesome would it be? I wonder if at the bugs, at the from the bugs' point of view, if it sounds like a world ending, like a sound barrier being broken. But somehow I doubt it. How strange would the world be if there were a bunch of little sound barrier noises as you walk through the woods?
Nice loves reptiles.
Tice loves what? Reptiles?
Yep.
You know, we do too. I don't remember who I was talking to on the YouTube comment board when the trailer went out. Somebody talked about how much they were loving reptiles, and I pointed out that my kids and I will sit outside when there's a gecko. We have I think they're Japanese geckos that have established a colony in our neighborhood, and obviously I think they're escaped from the pet trade, and they've established a colony in our neighborhood. And so when I go outside, I look up at the ceiling above my porch. There's usually 5 or 6 Japanese geckos out there. And that's pretty cool. And we'll sit out there and we'll watch them as long as they'll stay for us to watch. Or at least we used to back when my kids thought I was cool. I got one coming back around. She's 20. She's caught on that I'm pretty cool. My older kids think I'm pretty cool. You know what? I think my 16-year-old's on board. We don't sit and watch the geckos on the front porch like we used to. But we'll watch the geckos and the skinks.
And they will bring home dead bones and animals they find on their scout litter run.
She hasn't done that in a while. Of course, she hasn't gone on scout litter runs in a while. But she'll bring home, whenever she finds a dead animal on the side of the road, she'll bring it home and she'll bleach its bones and make a collection of she's got quite the collection of pets and raccoons and different types of bones. These guys live in the cooler mountain forests, and so they don't really. It's not really in their best interest to lay eggs because it's not warm enough for their eggs to survive. So they have live birth. They're one of the few reptiles that has live birth. And so for about 5 to 6 months, the mother will carry around between 8 and 30 developing babies that are about the size of a grain of rice, and then she'll give birth to them. And when they're born, about the size of a grain of rice, when they're born, they're fully formed. They start hunting at within a couple of hours. They start hunting, and again, keep in mind they're just about the size of a grain of rice, so they're eating bugs that almost the same size as them. All right, I think that's enough. We're gonna gotta erase some of those pencil lines. Those pencil lines are confusing me.
It says this lizard that looks like another lizard that squirts blood out of its eyes.
We talked about that one a couple of weeks ago. That wasn't the frilled lizard, was it? No, that was the horned lizard. We actually talked about that one a few weeks ago. A few weeks, probably closer to a few months ago.
Sandra says she thinks reptiles are the only babies that are fully formed at birth.
Let's see, snakes are that way, which are reptiles. Turtles are that way, and they're reptiles. Frogs start off as tadpoles, so they're not. They're amphibians. Salamanders start off as a tadpole, so they're not. They're amphibians. You may be right. You may be right. I don't think there are any mammals that are fully formed at birth. That's one of the defining characteristics of mammals and birds, is that they care for their young. You may be right. I think fish do. I think a lot of fish are fully developed at hatching at birth. I'm mixing up just a little Payne's gray. I want to keep it nice and cool because I've got a warm light. If you have a warm light, you need cool shadows. And I just think the shadows are cool. This is my favorite part.
I like his shadow. These little horns sticking up.
Yeah. This is my favorite part of the process anyway. When you change it from lines on the page to a three-dimensional object, to a dimensional object anyway. This is without a doubt my favorite part. Can't talk. Arting.
There's no one that's really talking.
We're all holding our breath. We're all holding our breath for this part. Need that shading just a little bit darker. My burnt orange did not get spritzed, so it's not moist and juicy. So it's not letting me make my gray the way I want to. All right, there we go. Where were we? Cool mountain forests at 6,500 feet above sea level. Their habitat is in danger because of logging. They're not really building houses in their part of the world, so at least there's not that. They are trying to farm in that part of Kenya because they're always looking for places where they can farm in Kenya. So there is some issue with the farming community encroaching on their lands, encroaching on their habitat. But the logging industry is by far the worst for them. What are you laughing at?
I said sometimes we're just drawing along and getting something slow like peppy.
Yeah. It's so much fun to watch Ivy when she really gets into it because she'll just start singing and sketching and she will just absolutely forget people are watching. She's having such a good time doing what she does. She will just absolutely forget people are watching. And the best part about that is that she's just so personable, just so herself, authentic. It's not surprising that she has the amazing following that she has. Her joy and enthusiasm just is contagious. All right, I'm frozen again. I mean, it just happened. It just happened. Over the shoulder, over the head, over the head. Luckily, if we catch it in time, it's just a click of the button to fix it. Let me dry this real quick. Who is Ivy? Cassandra. Ivy is coloring with Ivy. She does a stream. She's often a member of our chat, and she does another stream. She and I have been friends for about 16 years, and she streams. She does coloring pages, and she teaches color theory while she does them. Let me dry this real quick. No, it's not the price tag.
What is it?
Dice asked what this tag was for on the lizard. When I have an object that's too big to fit in an egg, it gets a bingo ball with a number on it, and then it gets a tag with the corresponding number.
Sorry.
So that I can put the egg with the tag. I can put the egg with the bingo ball in it in the randomogrifier. But this then goes up on the shelf. Disco. Well, you can't tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man. The music's loud, the women warm. I've been kicked around since I was born, but it's alright. It's okay. See what you did, Ty? Yeah. What's wrong?
I didn't see the tag on your drawing.
That is because the tag is not on my object in front of me.
Why is it on the one I see?
Why
Did
is
you
my...
take it up
Hey,
and the photograph?
hang on, my wife is calling me. Hang on just a second. Hi, sweetie. We're live on the air. Is everything okay?
Yeah, you have him on his way to Raiders?
No, he doesn't have to be there till 6:30.
Oh, okay. Is he already up?
We're in the middle of the show. I have no idea.
Hey,
Okay.
yeah, it's in-
Okay. Yep. I understand. We're in the middle of the show.
Yay.
Okay. Say hi to everybody. Everybody, hi. Say hi to my wife. Okay. Bye. I love you. Bye. Okay. Are you back, Mom?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Where were we? My son has a competition this morning, and he's supposed to be there at 6:30. And my wife is stalking us. She's using our app to stalk us, and she sees that we have not moved. I know she's sitting there. She's probably calling him now. Do. Where were we?
She is coming too.
Right. Let's see. Mountain forests, babies. What did we talk about? They're matured. They hit sexual maturity about 5 months, and they can live up to 10 years. Do. Their biggest issue, besides habitat encroachment, and the habitat encroachment is really not that much compared to the pet trade. They have a huge issue with the pet trade because who wouldn't want a 3-horned chameleon as a pet? If you're into reptiles, this would be a really cool pet to have, except that they're mostly caught live. They're mostly live caught. They do breed in captivity, but they don't breed in captivity as rapidly as the pet trade would demand. And so they're mostly wild caught. Which is offensive to me.
You freeze again?
Probably. I don't know what the issue is today. I rebooted and everything before the show. Twice. I rebooted last night. It was the last thing I did before I went to bed. And this morning, I rebooted before I started the show. Gremlins.
We agree. Sandra says the exotic pet trade should be illegal.
I'm just not a fan of stealing animals from nature to make pets. And I say this all the time. The pets that we have, the domesticated animals that we have, all domesticated themselves. We started growing food. And the steady supply of food attracted the animals to our encampments. And so they all domesticated themselves. The cattle, the sheep, all of those things wandered up to eat our food that we were growing. And while they were there, we just built a fence around them. We just selectively fed the ones that we liked. Cats, we started storing grain. The cats show up to eat the mice that have come to eat the grain that we're storing. Dogs, we have campfires that are warm at night. We're cooking meat, the dogs can smell it. We start tossing meat to the dogs start hanging around us, start considering us pack. We start saving pups in the wild, raising them and destroying the ones that are too violent, and breeding the ones that are friendly. All of the domesticated animals that you're familiar with, self-domesticated, wandered up while we were learning to feed ourselves. But guys like this are just trying to keep the world filtered for us. Keep the insect population down, keep the diseases down, keep the ground fertile. Let me dry this real quick and we'll ink it. The dryer's still on? Okay. I agree, Cassandra. The breeding has gotten out of hand. When we breed animals for flat faces, is gotten out of hand. He's going to come running down here any minute.
Here.
No, I don't hear him at all.
I'm beginning to get nervous now.
No, he's 16. In 2 short years, she's talking about joining the Marines, the Navy. Guarantee his mama won't wake him up then. Did we talk about everything we wanted to talk about? Oh, they're invasive in Hawaii. The pet trade let a few of them escape in Hawaii, and they're invasive in Hawaii. And Hawaii has made it illegal to export them. Reason being that if it's legal to export them, then there's no reason for the pet trade to help prevent them on the island. If the pet trade can continue to profit off them, then they won't help extinguish them. So they're illegal to export from Hawaii, but they are invasive. They've almost completely obliterated the Oahu tree snail. They've almost completely obliterated the Oahu tree snail, and so. And you think, oh, it's just a tree snail. That kind of stuff is what breaks down the detritus and turns it into soil and allows other organisms to survive. They all have a niche to perform. Again? I mean, not even on that camera. Well, I know I'm frozen on the camera that freezes. So, but they all have a niche to perform, and the Oahu tree snail breaks down the dead plant matter. The chameleons keep the bugs in check, among other things, and they all provide soil for the plants to grow. And when you disrupt that balance, you throw things out of kilter, something else is not able to grow. Now, something will come fill that niche, because this has happened, tens of millions of times throughout world history. Today is the 11th. It's happened tens of millions of times throughout world history, but it's usually more slowly of April. I need to get my taxes done. Like a bird will drop a chameleon off somewhere, or have fish eggs stuck to its legs when it lands in a new pond. That kind of stuff happens naturally, and it takes a lot longer for it to happen and get established, and everything has a chance to evolve to meet the need. But when you suddenly drop a group of animals into Florida or Hawaii, it causes problems. I need this one, which is, why is it frozen again? We're having some struggles today. We're almost done, so we just need to get past this one last little part. So there is, compared to the photograph, let me show it to you from my perspective. Rick and Pamela were quiet today. I suspect they're arting along. Take a picture of me. All right. Yeah, Australia has that problem with cane toads, exactly. And dingoes. But they got over it with the dingoes. That's a blurry picture. We'll have to take another picture. But there it is from my perspective. Woo, there it is from my perspective. So that's what I did today. Tomorrow, we have... There's Rick. Went to bed late. Tomorrow, what do we have tomorrow? Ooh, the suspense. The suspense is what gets you. Oh. Oh. It's a tomato frog from Madagascar. Their bright red color indicates to the predators that they are poisonous. They dig themselves backwards. They burrow backwards into a hole so that they can hang out and ambush food that wanders by. Their warts are toxic, and they glue their noses shut while they swim. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more fun tomato frog facts tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. Texas time while we sketch this little hopper. And you're going to want to set your notification bell for that. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Rick, Pamela, Tice, Cassandra. Who am I missing? Did I miss anybody? Was Claudia here? Rick, Pamela, Tice, Cassandra. Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. I love this part of the day when I get to art with my besties. I look forward to it every day. Come running down the stairs to be with you guys. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. Be sure and tune in tomorrow. Same Artistic Biker time, same Artistic Biker channel. And then we dance. We dance until somebody says they see me dancing, because that is how I know that the lag has caught up to the stream. And I will know that I won't be cut off mid-sentence. It gives you a chance to click the clicky thingies this way if you're on the horizontal, or this way if you're on the vertical. And it allows everybody a chance to say their hellos and goodbyes and ask questions.